Everyone, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Board of Directors of the School District for the City of Allentown for today, August 24th, 2023. Prior to tonight's meeting, an informational executive session was held to discuss health network negotiations, the evaluation of the superintendent, and confidential matters pertaining to student discipline issues and personnel. The board welcomes and invites public comment. You may address the board on agenda and/or non-agenda items. The first opportunity for comment is at the beginning of the meeting and is limited to agenda items only. Comment cards are located at the podium near the door. And if you have filled one out, please turn it in to Ms. Pollock. Ms. Pollock, would you raise your hand, please? Once recognized, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and kindly limit your remarks to 3 minutes. We will now have roll call.
Ms. Brown,
Present.
Ms. Conover,
Present.
Ms. Harris, Ms. Matheson,
Here.
Ms. Brown Noel,
Here.
Ms. Ortiz,
Here.
Mr. Palmer,
Present.
Dr. Santana, Ms. Wilt. 8 members present.
Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would like to take just a minute this evening to thank every one of our employees who made Monday, the opening convocation, such a special day. We hadn't been able to have that style of an opening convocation for a number of years because of the pandemic. It was just wonderful to see everyone in at once in their individual building colors, rooting for their building. And I was just thrilled to be able to be a part of that. Madam Superintendent.
Good evening, School Board of Directors, to our overall community, of course, to my team leaders, all the educators and staff. Welcome to the 2023-24 school year. Yes. We are so excited to welcome students back into our classrooms as well as staff in just 4 days. On August 28th, we start the brand new year. We are excited to welcome again everyone back. We want to thank everyone, as Ms. Matheson mentioned, who attended our convocation, all of our staff, as well as our community partners. We thank you for celebrating, and of course, to our school board of directors who were there and our elected officials who celebrated with us. We thank you so much. We also want to, I want to commend my team for all their hard work. Just think more than 5,000 people, and we actually couldn't get our accurate count because we were so surprised how many people came to our back to school bash before the bash even started. So almost 2 hours before the event, there were families out there waiting to attend the back to school bash. So I want to thank everyone for their hard work and commitment, and all our partners. We had initially about 75 partners commit to participating, and then with the change of the date due to the impending storm the day before, we still had approximately 55 vendors still be there, and we had a great time. Go Allentown.
May I say something?
Yes.
Dr. Burks, what you did for that back to school bash, and every employee that took part in that, thank you so much. It was beautiful. It built up everybody's spirits. I'm ready for y'all, even though I don't got any kids in school now anymore. But I was talking to children and getting them ready, and they were excited. And okay, and then Gina. Okay, so it's not Gina, it's Gina. The food was amazing. Amazing. was eating, they was eating, we was walking tacos, vegetarian chicken nuggets, delicious. I couldn't believe it. So to all of you, thank you. That was one of the best times I've had at a school function. And I've been to a whole lot. So thank y'all very much for that.
Thank you. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Palmer as well as Ms. Conover for helping to keep the party moving along. So thank you
Yeah.
so much. They took the mic and they were making it happen. So thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone for being there. With summer coming to a close, we are saying goodbye to our, well, temporarily goodbye to our first cohort of our Allentown Youth Internship Corps. Please we had 125 students secure positions throughout the district as well as the community, and they did an amazing job. I mean, some of the agendas and PowerPoints and some of the pictures you saw, and they were created by our students. Even the budget, I'm like, well, you want an event, where's your budget? And so they went and talked to individuals within the organization and learned a great deal about how a school district runs. They got to sit in a lot of our meetings and go, oh boy, what's going on over here? But in helping us to prepare for the school year. So I want to thank them, and I want to thank all of our site supervisors, our staff, because it takes a lot to, work with, do your job, especially at this time of the year, and then help teach our young people. So I want to thank everyone, all our schools and principals and everyone. They served as tutors, and they worked helping to get us ready for the preparation for school. They worked in the special education office, and we're so happy. I feel so full because one of our students, she has an exceptionality, but we have hired actually two of them. I think we hired two of our students who thought they could not get a job. And I want to thank Miss Gina for stepping up, as well as helping one of the students, her mother, secure a position. So this is what we do in ASD, and we take care of our families. And so I thank you, everyone, for that. So please give everyone a round of
We didn't forget you. Okay,
Yes.
you did a great job too. You kept
Yes.
the enthusiasm going.
Yes,
So
yes,
thank
yes.
you.
We also, just so that our families know and our students, we will have an additional cohort of students we will add as part of our Allentown Youth Internship Corps in the fall. So please listen out. They will work reduced hours, because some of them were working 30 hours this summer. Like, I want to work as many hours as possible. And so we want to make sure they're able to focus on their academics. Also, I have a special recognition this evening. And if my school board directors could please stand and join me in this recognition. They say I speak softly, so I'm going to speak into the microphone. So good evening again, everyone. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Pennsylvania School Boards Association to honor one of our outstanding board members, our board president, Ms. Audrey Matheson. School board members' service has been a long and crucial part of our nation's legacy and its commitment to public education. As the first School Boards Association in the United States, PSBA has a rich history with more than 125 years of service. The consummate school directors are described, or this, in our case, one, Ms. Matheson, as ethical, principled, with a deep desire to serve. She believes in the value of our public schools and local control of public education for the benefit of all students. And throughout her life, she has demonstrated just that, because she serves as a teacher for 40 years. She served as a teacher for 40 years. We should be clapping for that. For almost 40 years, PSBA has been acknowledging the contributions of dedicated local school directors with long-term service, just as long as the PSBA you've been around. The honor roll in the associate's way of thanking these individuals who exemplified leadership by giving unselfishly of their time and talents for the betterment of the public schools serving students across the Commonwealth. I am pleased and honored to serve with you, Ms. Matheson, and recognize you for your contribution to this rich legacy. thank you so much on behalf of PSBA and of course, on behalf of the 16,000 students, our school. I really don't speak for the school board director, so you do in this, so, and Ms. Wilt, now that I'm deferring, because I like to be respectful of authority. Is that okay, Ms. Wilt? We want to say thank you. We appreciate you. We are honored to serve with you, and thank you for 8 years. Some people don't do things for 8 minutes, and she's been on this board for 8 years. So thank you so much. We all come in this picture?
Sure.
School board.
Or to let them sit.
We
can do one more.
Oh, there
There you go.
we go. That makes more sense.
1, 2, 3, and then with everybody.
Yes, please.
With the,
You want it by herself?
no, with the president. Oh, with what?
Vice President.
No.
Everybody.
Yeah, come on. Please.
What I tell the kids, if you can't see me, I can see you. I'm rated. There we go.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Ms. Masterson.
I didn't think that would happen until December.
Thank you. That concludes my remarks for now.
Thank you very much. There's really only one reason to do this, and that's for the over 16,000 students that we serve. Anything that any one of us can do to make life better for those youngsters is more than worth doing. This time, we're only taking comments on agenda items. Do we have any parts?
There are no comments on agenda items.
May I have a motion for the approval of the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Wilt?
I'll
sir-
second.
Ms. Harris, is that what you? And we have a maker and a seconder. Is there any discussion on the item? Seeing none, would you call the roll, please?
Ms. Conover,
Yes.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Matheson,
Yes.
Ms. Brown Noel,
No.
Ms. Ortiz,
Yes.
Mr. Palmer,
No.
Ms. Wilt,
Yes.
Ms. Brown.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Did you say?
I'm sorry. Yes.
6-2 vote passes.
Thank you.
We're moving into information updates. Do we have a report this evening from the Allentown Human Relations Commission, Ms. Brown?
I'm sorry. Say that. I have a migraine. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Do we have a report from the Human Relations Commission this evening?
The only thing I would like to report is that the Human Relations Commission is accepting applicants, and if anyone is interested in applying, that is interested in social justice around housing, different inequities, please go to the City of Allentown website and apply to be a Human Relations Commissioner. Thank you. That's all.
Do we have a report from the Public Library, Ms. Harris, Ms. Wilt?
No report at this time.
Do we have one from the Recreation Commission, Mr. Palmer, Ms. Wilt?
We did not meet.
I do have a report from the foundation. The foundation board met on Tuesday, August 3rd at the First United Land Transfer and via Zoom. We are grateful to William Allen High School alum, Mr. George Lair, and his colleagues for their hospitality. There will be a special board meeting on Thursday, September 7th at 8 a.m. at Muhlenberg College. For the start of school, a number of things that people will want to know about. The Teacher Innovation Grant applications are being accepted now. Full-time ASD educators can download the application form from the ASDF website or ask for one to be emailed to them. The deadline to apply this year is Friday, October 20th. All full-time ASD educators, including counselors, coaches, nurses, teachers, and so on, are eligible to apply. The ASD Foundation is currently accepting donations to the TIG program. All donations are welcome. Any donation of $1,200 or more will enable the donor to have a TIG grant named in their honor. The TIG grants go to individual classroom teachers and projects, and so they're something that you may want to consider. As soon as school begins, students in all 4 middle schools are encouraged to sign up for the Latin dance program, which I know is really popular, which includes a lesson after school once a week with professional dance instructors teaching salsa and merengue, and culminates with an all ASD competition at William Allen High School in November. Robb Middle School students are invited to sign up for the Middle School Strings program to learn to play the viola or violin with other Robb students. Both programs are entirely free for students. Over the summer, some highlights: the foundation awarded 77 scholarships to 60 different seniors graduating from Allen Building 21, DARF, and LCTI. The foundation also gives scholarships to students who graduated in past years and received multi-year awards. The total dollars given to ASD seniors and past graduates this summer is over $95,000. The foundation elected new officers and members who began their terms on July 1st. We're proud to have so many alumni participating, and we thank all of our volunteers. We are pleased to welcome Ms. Tanya Harris, who will be the new ASDF president, Mr. Rob Schmidt, who's the DARF class of 1997, as vice president, Ms. Elizabeth Seward, the Allen class of 2006, and Dr. Umberto Ortiz, William Allen class of 2002. They have become new board members. Mr. Dick Button, a founding board member who served as president from 2015 to 2017, was elected emeritus board director. And Mr. Dan Bosket, the immediate past president, also DARF of 1971, has become the immediate past president, which is a new position on the board. Teacher innovation grants, the TIG grants I was referring to earlier, are among our most impactful programs. The 22-23 project summaries report has just been published and is available upon request. The impact is at least as large and varied as the 5,318 plus students involved this year as reported by their teachers. And the foundation thanks the community for all of their support. The Carbon Lehigh Unit, Intermediate Unit.
Yes. Dr. Gregory Coons is now the new executive director. He started, and this was his first board meeting. That was on Monday. And Dr. Coons updated the board on the paraeducation grant, the CLIU Alternative Education Certification Program, the Education Induction Program, expanding CPE courses to BCIU, a flawless state police bus inspection report, and also opening day. We also had one graduate, and her name is Taina Salame. I hope I didn't butcher her name. That's one graduate from Allentown School District. Let's clap her up. And they also kicked off their opening day on August 15 at Parkland High School. That's it for my report.
Okay. LCTI, Ms. Conover.
Yes, we met last night. And I'm happy to say that they are filled, which is a good sign. I want to also make note, and you know me, when I see good things, I always like to celebrate them. Under the leadership of Dr. Greenewalt and her team, I have seen, as only one person on this board, a drastic change in LCTI. What I've seen and what I'm experiencing is that LCTI has truly become allies with us. And, you know, when we many people were invited to our convocation, but it was wonderful for me to look out into the audience and to see them there and in support of everything that we do here in Allentown, because our kids leave here and they go there, and that's what we want. But we wanted all of the students, the ones from coming from other sending direct districts, to receive the same services and the same experience. And that's what I'm finding under her leadership. There were 265 cosmetology applications that came in. I'm making note of that because if students are saying I wanted cosmetology, it wasn't because somebody was looking at you with crossed eyes or they were treating you any different. It was just that there was a lot of students that applied for that particular class. They also have, they're offering, because we talked a lot about in this space about literacy and how important that is. Although that's a technical school, they have implemented what they call literacy of the day in every one of their classrooms. And so what that looks like, because of course, you know, I'm going to ask the question, they're going to have something like maybe write something, or they're definitely implementing that in every one of their classes. So even if it's automotive, they're going to have a little literacy in there because they've heard us talk about math and they've heard us talk about science. There's even on some of the documents that they provided us with, and I'm looking around the building, there's quotes like children are the priority, change is the reality, collaboration is the strategy. And that was something that was quoted by Judith Billings, former superintendent of Washington State. That made my heart glad. Also, I saw something that said the goal is to help the adults to improve. So they were embracing that. So nobody's looking at anybody with crossed eyes as if somebody's doing the other one wrong. We're all in this together. And I'm just so happy to be able to celebrate that because again, when we come into these spaces and we talk about the things that are not happening, those conversations are hard conversations, but they're efforts for us to be able to improve and to move forward and to pour into our kids, those same kids who are going to be taking care of us when we are not doing this work anymore. They have an English learners program that's on the horizon that they're implementing. Like I told you, the enrollment numbers are up this year. Under 100 students decided not to attend, unlike the other years where there was 300 students and over. So I'm very, very happy to be able to report that. And I myself, and if you would join me, I want to give LCTI a hand for the effort. My report.
Safety Task Force, is there a report? Ms. Brown, Ms. Conover, Ms. Harris?
There isn't one for this month, but we will have one for September.
City Use Initiative, Mr. Palmer?
There is there is no report for this month. The meetings will begin again next month.
Good, thank you. May I have a motion for the approval of the Board of Directors report?
I make that motion.
Okay, Ms. Harris, is there a second?
So move.
We have a maker and a seconder. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Harris,
Yes.
Ms. Matheson,
Yes.
Ms. Brown Noel,
Abstaining from this vote.
Ms. Ortiz,
Yes.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Ms. Wilt,
Have to abstain from this vote.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Conover.
Yes.
Okay. You wanted to make a comment?
Six passes, two abstentions.
Well, am I the only one really excited, or is our athletics team really excited as well? I just want. I just want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our friends, our partners at St. Luke's, and they are here today. Mr. Hatt is here. And who else is? Can you please stand? We want to say thank you so much for your investment in our students and continuing on with our academic programming, providing trainers and support to our students, and some of those other great incentives that are will help enhance our academic programming. And as we know, is important just as much as the academic aspects of a child, but we want to focus on developing the whole child. So we thank you for your investment, and on behalf of all of our students and staff here in Allentown, we thank you, and we're honored to be in partnership with you. So let's please give them a round of applause. Yeah, so and the athletic directors, did you have anything that you want to add?
Just want to thank St. Luke's for the partnership, thank the board.
Can't hear you.
Just thank you to everybody. Support that we really needed, so appreciate it.
It was a great win for our students, and we're very excited for it. Our students looking forward. Thank you guys very much for your investment. in our students. Thank you.
Our audience can't hear y'all, only through mics.
Use the
Microphone.
mic real quick.
Oh. Sorry. Hey, this is a great win for the students of Allentown, and we thank you, St. Luke's, for your continued partnership with us, and look forward to the awesome things that are going to happen for our students. So thank you very much.
Okay. May I have a motion for the approval of the Secretary and Treasurer's report?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, we have a maker and a seconder. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Miss Matheson,
Yes.
Miss Brown Noel,
Yes.
Miss Ortiz,
Yes.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Miss Wilt,
Yes.
Ms. Brown,
Yes.
Miss Conover,
Yes.
Miss Harris.
Yes.
8-0, vote passes.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the superintendent's report?
So moved.
I'll second.
And we have a maker and a seconder. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Brown Noel,
Yes.
Miss Ortiz,
Yes.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Miss Wilt,
Yes.
Miss Brown,
Yes.
Miss Conover,
Yes.
Miss Harris.
Yes.
Miss Matheson,
Yes.
8-0, vote passes.
May I have a motion for the approval of the personnel report?
I'll make that motion.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Miss Ortiz,
Yes.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Miss Wilt,
Yes.
Miss Brown,
Yes.
Miss Conover,
Yes.
Miss Harris,
Yes.
Miss Matheson,
Yes.
Miss Brown Noel,
Yes.
8-0, vote passes.
May I have a motion for the approval of the finance report?
So moved.
And we have a maker. Is there a seconder?
I'll second.
And we have a second. Is there any discussion on the finance report?
Yeah, I had a question. Just real quick, what do we do with the old equipment when we toss? Do we toss it, or like, what do we do with it?
Just stay here.
You mean the old technology equipment that?
Yeah.
So we have a recycling company that picks up the equipment and they take it away.
Do we get anything for it, or?
No, there's not much value for the equipment.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just wondering what we did with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? Please call the roll.
Mr. Palmer,
Yes.
Miss Wilt,
Yes.
Miss Brown,
No. Finance report.
Miss Conover,
No.
Miss Harris,
Yes.
Miss Matheson,
Yes.
Miss Brown Noel,
Yes.
Miss Ortiz.
Yeah.
6-2, vote passes.
Can I, since we voted on that, can I just say thank you to Will, who's sitting right over
Certainly.
there?
Go ahead.
Cool. Thank you for that. We appreciate it.
All right. Do we have any public comments on non-agenda items?
We have 2 comments on non-agenda items. First is Diane Hollowell.
Welcome back.
I need 15 extra seconds. Diane Hollowell, Highland Drive. I didn't get to attend last board meeting, but I did watch it on YouTube. So thank you to the IT team. And first off, it was nice to hear Dorian Colbert at the PPL Center state that teachers have the hardest job in the world. It was an inspiring morning. And now I'm happy to see the expectations listed in the student handbook to, I quote, to support a safe learning environment. So I have to tell you, I was a little concerned about the discussion on hoodies. I love hoodies. I have quite a few. My concern was leaving out the wording, your face and ears must be visible. You are correct that students pull their hoodies over their heads to sleep, and we as teachers do not judge. We don't know if they were up late from work or playing video games. We don't judge. But I do personally take offense that the lessons were not engaging. So I'll share a little story with you. I was a phys ed teacher before I was a librarian. My lessons both in the gym and in the library were very engaging. But during one rotation, I had this 7th grade class that I had a really hard time with. So I asked our school psychologist, please sit in on this class and give me some pointers so I can get through to these kids. His evaluation. Diane, that lesson was amazing. If you lit yourself on fire and ran around the room, you would still only have the attention of half the class. We have amazing teachers in this district. And as a librarian, I get to collaborate with many of them. And I will tell you their lessons are very engaging and they are very empathetic to our students' concerns. So a hoodie for a sleeping kid seems fine. But a hoodie, when it covers their face and they put on their mask where only their eyes are showing as they run down the halls, is a safety concern, especially when a lockdown is called. When a lockdown's called, I run into the hall and any students in the hall, I bring into the library and I lock the door. With those hoodies over their ears, they can't hear me calling them because their earbuds are in their ears. Decisions. Do I lock the door and keep everyone safe who heard me calling them to come in? Or do I run after them and physically take their arm and secure them into the room? These are things I would never thought I would have to make a decision on. So I'm glad that under the non-allowable dress and grooming states that any item that obscures the face and ears is not allowed. So thank you for keeping that in the handbook. It will make a teacher's job so much easier to enforce in a manner to educate the student and not to demean or shame them. And on a lighter note, we are all excited about Brain Fusion, the online tutoring. I'm sure it will, I'm hoping our students will take advantage of this. Just 15 seconds. And going to end this, I'm putting a plug in for our 2 acting principals, Mr. Derek and Ms. Petronio. They have been and are still holding down the fort. They are team players. They have no problem listening to suggestions. They value their staff. I am hoping they have proven themselves enough to have the word acting taken off their title. So we are glad they are not one of the 29 administrators who left the district this year. And as we say over in Deerfield, they lead and serve with Husky pride, and those canaries too. Thank you. Oh, and Mr. Singh, can you send more of these pens over to Deerfield? They're awesome.
Kirk Hines.
Good evening. My name is Kirk Hines. I've been employed in a district for over 16 years in the custodial department. I'm a U.S. Army military veteran, and currently I'm the head custodian at Deerfield High School. In addition, in the last few months, I was elected president of the IMCA Maintenance Custodial Union. I came here to introduce myself to the board, so to speak. I've never seen your faces except for the superintendent. I see her, I spoke to her a bunch of times. And of course, Jen and these people over here, I know a lot of them. I just wanted to tell you that to piggyback on the summer intern program that she brought up earlier, I actually had some of them working for me this summer. And contrary to people believe, the kids were engaged. You know, they sought direction. They showed up on time. They did what they were told. So firsthand, I can tell you, they were worth the expense. Okay? So in the future, I think it's a good program. I fully support it wholeheartedly. And I like to say, Allentown is better off when the kids are engaged.
Yes.
And we can start by things like the intern program and other programs, sports. But I'm about to wrap up soon. The thing is, as a president of the union, I just wanted to let the board know personally, I look forward to working with you in the future to keep this going, keep Allentown moving. And the people that work in the union will do their jobs the best they do, like they did at the bash when they showed up and things got there on time, things got taken away on time. You know, that's our job. Our job is to give the teachers, staff, and students a first-rate learning environment.
Amen.
And that means the buildings, that means the grounds, that means events. Okay? That's our job. That's what we do. That's all I have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Is there any old business to come before us? Is there any new business to come before us? May I have a motion to adjourn? So move. Anybody opposed? That we are adjourned.
It'll be here next week or next time.
This is.
right. So now you got, now you can just get it. Again, it's not. I'll get it on the agenda.
I'll tell you the story.
That's that, we already had the resolution done tonight. You would ask.